They had this just on standby. They had this meme on standby, bro. This is the type of memes that they just pull up normally. He just looked through his phone and was like, "Oh yeah, I got something for that. These are the type of memes I got." And these guys are the ones telling me that they're winning the meme war. Are you all ready to dive into the wild world of World War Swift? A war that's been raging under our noses for quite some time now that I hadn't spent too much time thinking of, but has started to go crazy. All right? It's been raging. The war has been raging, but only recently has it taken a much bigger leap into the mainstream. Buckle up, gamers. Some of you might be thinking, Shark, why in the world are you talking about Taylor Swift? Well, T-Squiggle, she's my best friend, okay? Friend of the stream, Miss Taylor. I love that 30-year-old woman. That being said, the real reason why we're talking about her today is because of something that I would like to call World War Swift, which is the Cold War that has started to move into a hot war between Taylor Swift and the conservative American apparatus. And you may be talking about, Shark, what are you talking about? Well, let me talk to you about something, all right? The talking heads on the conservative right have decided that their new target, no longer Mr. Potato Head's non-existent French fry, if you know what I mean. No longer is it Aunt Jemima or the little Native American girl on the butter. No longer is it even trans peepo or affirmative action. No. Now it's Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has catapulted herself really into the news and into the minds of conservative America recently, mostly because of the fact that she is now actually getting into some of the things that they at least like to say that they enjoy. She is in a friendship, relationship, whatever, with Travis Kelce, football player. I don't watch football that much, but I do know that. She even went to an NFL game, and this is the response that she got. Anyways, they're really hating there. They're really hating there. The conservatives won't let her ruin their God-loving football sport, even though this is like the fourth time that they've boycotted the NFL. I thought none of them were watching the NFL anymore. I thought they were boycotting the NFL after like the BLM thing and then like the trans thing and like basically everything. They talk about how they're boycotting the NFL like every year, but then watch it every single time. It's almost like they don't actually care. But anyways, she went to go watch her friend, boyfriend, whatever play. She got booed in the stadium. People were making memes about it as well. It was a little funny. I can't lie. Madden 2024 PS5. Some of them are really sloppy. Some of them are really sloppy. Really sloppy. Obviously, the Facebook memes were going crazy. I was lying to you when I said that they were funny. These barely got any traction because they're all really unfunny, actually. That bitch rooted against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. She grew up outside of Philly. Heck, fuck the Eagles. We hate the Eagles. That is true. We do hate the Eagles here. And on this stream, we hate the Eagles. Why do they care so much? Because they hate Taylor Swift because she's one of them feminist women destroying the country and she, where her feminism and she, you know, she's bringing her trans beer and gay women to destroy everything that God-fearing American men love, like football, that they're still boycotting, I guess, but not anymore. But they will again soon, I promise you. Listen, even larger talking, and this has started to jump into the realm of getting into larger talking heads realm. All right, those other tweets got like 6 likes, 100 likes. This is something much bigger with 10,000 likes. Richard Cooper, conservative talking head, not that big in the realm of everything, but still quite large. Taylor Swift Age 34. Husband 0. Children 0. Ex-boyfriends 14. Body count only God knows now. Cats 3. And her most popular songs are like Shaking It Off, Look What You Made Me Do, Don't Blame Me, You Need to Calm Down. Do you understand why Western women identify with her? Yeah, this is true. I will say, Taylor Swift is white woman Jesus. She is. I hate to be the one to tell them that, but she is white woman Jesus. Western white woman Jesus. She came, she saw. She dropped another platinum record and then disappeared again to have a new boyfriend, as it goes. But they've turned even the existence of Taylor Swift as an artist into a culture war icon. And if there's anything that I can show you to prove that conservatives have lost the culture war, it's coming out against probably one of the most inoffensive content creators to ever exist, one of the most inoffensive artists to ever exist, Taylor Swift, who dropped some of the most uninflammatory music that I've ever heard in my entire life, and then have actual genuine mental breakdowns about Taylor Swift and then write these types of tirades about them. This is somebody who was literally trying to run for Congress. This is Laura Loomer, the plastic paragon herself. Has Taylor Swift made a deal with George Santos and Alex Soros to get the rights to her music back in exchange for getting Zoomers registered to vote for Democrats against Trump ahead of the election? Crazy. The Twitter HQ handcuffed terrorist. Investigative journalist as well, as you know, as we all know. As she's literally, mind you, just vibing. Actually just vibing. Oh, she's been a nutso for years. She's been crazy for years. Will is just mad that the Eagles needed the refs' help to beat the awful Giants team. Hey! I'm a New Yorker. You can't insult the Giants. That's my job. What the hell? Who do you think you are? I'm sporting over here. I am unfortunately a huge Giants fan. Yeah. Listen, you don't really know pain until you become a Giants fan. This is the reason why I really want to cover this, and I think it's so interesting, is because I really feel like this is close to a death knell for the conservative culture war, and in like the sort of gravity and seriousness that it took back in like 2016 to like 2019. That was a huge era for like conservative content, especially like 2014 to 2019. I think that's where it like really picked up. There were so many channels that were going absolutely crazy that went from commentary to like anti-SJW content. Stomping on a cringy feminist dog, watch her cry and moan and get triggered, episode 50,000. Right, that's when that type of content was popping off. That's when those types of politicians were really making a rise, and that's where Donald Trump became like the meme president, the king meme president, when the only reason he was really president is because Hillary Clinton, who spent literally a decade of the Democratic Party paving the way for her to be president, squandered it all because she's just a disconnected loser freak who cared more about making money and making everybody else seem below her than actually like doing something good for the American people for literally once in her life. Literally for once. She couldn't do it. She couldn't hold it. She could be like a piece of shit once she gets in the office, but you literally couldn't hold it together for a singular election cycle to win. And that was what was really sad. But I feel like this article is incredibly interesting on that from the Washington Monthly. Conservatives have lost the culture war. It's something that I've been saying for a little while, but the idea of these types of conservative organizations starting to crumble under the weight of their own stupidity has been something that's been super interesting to me and has continued to be interesting to me as conservatives continue losing elections and losing relevancy in many of the states that they used to be bulwarking in, like Virginia, But that's not completely everywhere around the country. Obviously, every state has their own little microcosm. I'm just talking about it like a more broader level. Florida obviously has had like a big, like super fashy conservative uprising. Tennessee, that one as well. But both of those states were definitely primed for it, especially with a weak loser, do-nothing Democratic Party that has committed themselves to losing every election. Maybe because they think it's funny. Maybe because they're too stupid to be able to win. Who knows? But it said. But then it goes on to say something super interesting. Conservatives are falling farther behind in terms of cultural and economic power, contrary to the right-wing instance of Go Woke, Go Broke. The biggest movie of the year was Barbie, actually pulling in over $1.3 billion in the box office. Disney's live-action version of The Little Mermaid, which endured heavy conservative attacks, racist ones as that, against the actor who was playing it, even got a lot of money as well, hauled in over $500 million globally. Meanwhile, few in history have lost more money so quickly as Elon Musk since taking Twitter and losing hundreds of millions of dollars. And as the sharpest drop off of like wealth that honestly history has ever seen. Maybe one of the sharpest drop-offs of wealth that history has ever seen an individual human lose, which is so interesting. Apparently, when you go woke, you don't actually go broke. When you go woke, it seems like you actually earn a lot of money. It's seemingly the same when it comes to the NFL. Even though there are a lot of people booing, it seems like having Taylor Swift there and people like her is not actually making them lose money. On the contrary, it makes them gain money. While a lot of conservatives and conservative organizations are crumbling, like the NRA, which has brought in its lowest registration and fundraising numbers since 2008. They've literally set themselves back close to 20 years because of the bullshit that they're engaging in. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I want to turn your attention to what the talking heads have been saying and how absolutely, and for honestly, not lack of a better term, because I think this is the best term, how triggered and snowflakey they've become over this, how sensitive and insane they've become over Taylor Swift's rise and their inability to stop her. Because like it or not, and this is something that shocked me a lot, Taylor Swift is like really widely liked. Like really, really widely liked. Taylor Swift actually, genuinely, may actually be white woman Jesus. She transcends the American political divide. There's almost nothing that transcends the American political divide, like outside of like bombing Arabs and honestly, that might genuinely be it. So if this is what we're talking about, she actually has a positive approval rating through every political party. All of them, registered Democrats, registered independents, registered Republicans, all hold a positive view of Taylor Swift. She has a more positive approval rating than Donald Trump and Joseph R. Biden Jr. and every other politician in America. She ranks higher than almost literally all of them. It's kind of insane. It's a positive approval rating amongst like men, women, Republicans, Democrats, age 34, like almost all of them. 17% of those surveyed had a very positive view of Swift, while 22% said somewhat positive. Taylor Swift is overwhelmingly liked. I dislike Taylor Swift. Well, get to the front of the line, because there aren't many of you. I have no problem with Taylor Swift, as most people do. But the people we're going to be talking about today are not most people, and they are actually very strange, weird, peculiar people. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to what Charlie Kirk and his gaggle of freaks have to say about Swiftie and just her life.
She is the most famous celebrity in the world. That appears to be what the justification for it was just.
Well, who determines that?
So here's the opening line from the Time Person of the Year article. If you guys want to bring it up on screen, if you can.
Is that Poso? We're going to be talking about Prosbiak a little bit more than we usually do here, actually. So yeah.
And we can show it here. But Taylor Swift is telling me a story. And when Taylor Swift tells you a story, you listen because you know it's going to be good. Not only because she's had an extraordinary life, but because she's an extraordinary storyteller. So
Okay, all right.
That
So
person of
name
the
some
year.
of her best stories. Can anyone name some of her
There's
best
that
stories?
song, Romeo and Juliet. I don't remember. Love Story, I guess is the name of the song. And she's in love with a guy, but their parents don't like the guy.
Isn't her whole
That's-
genre
that's
about how
Shakespeare,
she's
though. That's not-
childless
that's
and
not-
unmarried?
that's not her.
Isn't that her whole thing, which is rallying up young women to sing about their misery?
Bro, what are you talking about? Rallying young women to sing about their misery. What are you talking about? She seems pretty happy from my estimation. She seems pretty happy. I mean, she's a billionaire. I'm not too much of a fan of that. Socialist and all, you know. But she's a billionaire. She makes a lot of money. She has a bunch of fans, and she's pretty widely liked. This, like, I don't know, like, her just having boyfriends and stuff, that doesn't seem, I really don't care. I don't think anybody else cares either.
She sings about happy stuff too. And
I think it's fascinating how she goes from that and still gives off virgin vibes the whole time. Like, she pulls from every category.
It's not the vibe I get.
Yeah, but that's how parents treat her.
But
would
parents
not
think that
agree
she's
with
like the.
Like a
no,
virgin.
I
She's like
totally
the-
agree with Tyler. I think Tyler's
like the Virgin Mary.
100%. Tyler's totally right. That if you talk to your normie suburban housewife, they think she's like Mother Mary, and I want my daughter to be like her.
Totally.
And she has a body count that needs an exponent.
Well, and
What are you talking about, you weird freak? just so you know, this guy has a daughter. This is how he talks about random women online when he genuinely has a daughter. That's actually pretty upsetting, if I'm going to be honest with you. But for one, you don't know that. You don't know that at all. And two, why do you care? Why are you so weird? And I want you to be honest, okay? Keep your eye on this guy, okay? This like pedo stash freak over here. Keep your eye on him because he's gonna go insane here. He's actually so misogynistic that they're actually going to have to. You remember that scene from American Psycho where Bateman's like, cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks. They actually kind of have to do that with him here. When it comes to him going on a rant, a sweaty, angry rant about Taylor Swift.
here's the other part that you lay on top of it. She's not even that attractive. So like the entire paradox of this whole thing, that she's made parents believe that she's like a virgin. She has, you know, this well accomplished career of not ever doing anything like that, like you should do in order to be a successful human being on planet Earth, while at the same time being really subpar average. Like if you didn't know who Taylor Swift was, you saw her in a shopping mall, she would be a 4, maybe a 5, like on like her best day.
Okay, buddy. Actually, gigacopium. I've never seen. Honestly, that's the type of comment that you would have to install like cartoon hammers on like behind each seat, and every time you make a comment like that, Charlie would have to press a button and it would whip around and gunk conk you over the head just to do a factory reset. Bro said Taylor Swift is a 4 or a 5 on her best day. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Why are you stupid? I'm not gonna comment on whether she looks good or doesn't look good, but I think she's it's very obvious that she's like very conventionally attractive for what we would expect here in the United States. Like, come on, let's be honest with ourselves here. Let's not be stupid. And the thing is, she's like objectively attractive. That's the problem that he's making here. You can't say this about somebody who is like actually objectively attractive.
Like as a normal
She's
person.
not a 4. No, I'm not going
Whoa,
to.
whoa,
She's not a
whoa.
4 on
She
her
has had-
best day?
have you-
Come on,
have you-
dude. That's
she's
not,
had
like, let's
tens
be
of millions
serious.
of dollars
Let's
put
be
into her
serious.
jack. Like it's not. Have you seen those memes? You're not
not
ugly.
a
You're just
4.
poor.
She's not a
She has
4.
spent all that money. If she was normal Taylor
I'm not saying
Swift,
she's a 10. I'm not saying she's a 10. I'm not
no,
saying she's a 9.
before
I'm
the
not
millions
saying
of dollars,
she's
she
an
was a 5.
8. Yes.
A 4. A 4.
She's like
Man,
a,
have
she's
you
like a
looked at-
7.
If
after,
you made a
after
bell
spending
curve,
probably $50 million
if
on
you
her
made
looks.
a bell curve of the women in America in which an average person is 5, you would put Taylor Swift to the left of that. Have you been to an amusement park in the last decade? Have you been to a movie theater? Have you been to a
Did you
mall?
see her mouth?
Women, am I right?
She got money.
They're so
you been-
ugly. I hate women,
Or,
guys.
can I say something about? Is it?
Have
Is
you-
it
she doesn't
me, or
have
are they
any-
trying
okay,
really hard to
have
make
you
her
seen
look
the
like Nicole
Kardashians
Kidman?
before money?
Here's the real
It's the
story.
same thing.
Here's the real story though. The reason she
He's actually derailing the entire segment so bad that they have to be like, okay, anyways, forget that. Bringing it back to reality now.
can give off that vibe is she doesn't have a septum piercing. I don't think she has. Does she have any tattoos? If they are, I don't know them off the top of my head.
Not that we know of.
Yeah, so no, like,
Who cares?
prominent ones. And, like, that goes a long way, because now she doesn't have nose piercing. Like, she doesn't do all these things that an extremely large share of women do, and I don't know why they do it, because it's very off-putting, but it's very common now. And so,
Well,
you know, yeah, you come off very...
She does have one.
I think that's to
one
Charlie's
very
point.
large
That's
number of
why
things
parents
that
think
people
she's the
do.
Virgin Mary, because she's like the only pop
she
star that
looks
doesn't.
wholesome. She looks
she
wholesome.
looks wholesome. She really does. And so, Jack, sorry, you're remote, so sometimes we talk over you. Jack, the floor is yours.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say that we talked about
She
this a couple of
looks
weeks ago,
wholesome.
but
Yeah, Taylor Swift keeps tricking suburban white women into thinking that she's the Virgin Mary because I don't know why. They just think that they believe that, I guess. Septum piercings are hot AF. What are they talking about? These people, these guys literally get scared when they see somebody that they think has hair dye in. These guys shit themselves when they walk past a taco truck. Of course they're scared of piercings and nose rings. Of course they're scared of tattoos and nose rings. I mean, come on.
the Travis Kelce is just really the next addition to the Taylor Swift body count gallery. The museum will be opened at the end of her career. When you really think about it, Charlie, I actually agree with you in terms of that, saying that whatever the machine makers, the factory mavens there in the entertainment industrial complex, who have been working on the career of Taylor
Entertainment
Swift,
industrial complex.
It's like first it was Britney Spears, and then that
when
got
I think
screwed
I'm
up, so
smart.
they had to shelve that and move to the next one. Then Hillary Duff, as they tried, then she kind of like faded into the shadows. Then there was Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, I think everyone understands, was a completely failed experiment. But with Taylor Swift, they finally got it right. She didn't go off the deep end. They were like, okay, don't put her in the Disney machine. Don't put her in the Disney box. Something goes very, very wrong with girls when you put them in the Disney box as young girls. We later found out with many. Ashley Simpson, by the way, is a huge example of that. Ariana Grande has some names that she should probably name. Dan Schneider, his feet fetish, and many others. But with Taylor Swift, right, so she was able to kind of avoid all of those.
Experiment. Oh, once again, it feeds into the conspiracy that they and it's so crazy because these guys are scared of pronouns, but they're always talking about they and them. You ever think about that? They and them keep putting Taylor Swift and all of these creators up like they're like, he thinks, you know how the joke that or the accusation of somebody being an industry plant, they think everything in society that you see is like pre-planned by a malevolent force looking to make you gay, trans, or like a migrant, or like a Muslim Islamist or something, right? That's what they genuinely believe about the world. And so obviously everything that they don't like that's in popular culture has obviously been put up by them to destroy the planet. And so, yeah, so like all these people, they're like, oh yeah, we finally got, they've been having like experiments like Mew and Mewtwo. They've been having experiments, and they keep pumping out new experiments like the scientists in Lilo and Stitch, and like finally Taylor Swift is like there. The Cabal's experiment 626, which has finally succeeded and gone beyond their wildest dreams to finally turn every single white woman into a 34-year-old childless, husbandless, catful, a witch, blight upon America, who will have a wax museum of men who've put their pee-pee in her vagoober hole to destroy the country and finally overrun it and then take it from the Anglo-Saxons and the other whites that I'm going to be lumping in as the same type of people. So we're all brown, some dingy brown creature that will only vote for Democrats forevermore as Joseph R. Biden's likeness and personality gets digitized into a robot that will finally decide everything that happens into America, and everybody is forced to have an abortion. Everybody. You think I'm joking about some of the stuff that I'm saying, but I'm going to tell you right now that some of the stuff I pulled from some of the things that they're about to say.
Normal pitfalls that seem to encumber many young a starlet, I guess the name would be, young starlets as they're on their way up. I mean, I think she tried acting once or twice, but didn't really take off. And we have that. I don't know if we have that clip, but there is that.
Why do you
clip
know all
speaking
this
of her
about Taylor
acting,
Swift?
When she, you guys remember this thing when she went off on Marsha Blackburn, I guess, in this documentary, quasi-documentary, talking about how, Marsha Blackburn doesn't have Tennessee Christian values, which, by the way, Taylor Swift, you're from Reading, Pennsylvania. You're from like 30 minutes away from me in the Northeast. You're not
She
from
LARPs
Tennessee.
as this, like, Tennessee
You're not from the
person.
South.
I know.
Like you're not. You're not from there. You're actually from Wyoming, just next to Reading. Do we have that? Do we cut? So anyway, all right.
As far as I remember, she actually lived in Tennessee for quite some time of her life, and the whole movie documentary is more about how she doesn't like Donald Trump, how she wished that she could speak up more when she was on her rise, and wants to talk more about politics and use her platform for good. Actually, that's what all this is for. Yeah, wasn't she based in Nashville? They want to pretend that that's not the case because they hate her and she's a woman.
Before you get into the cut, I think we should explain why it is that why this matters, and for a number of reasons. But
yeah, go ahead. Tell us, buddy.
My theory is that they are going to be turning Taylor Swift into a ballot harvesting operation,
it's
and
they and
turnout
them
mechanism for the Democrats in 2024. Whoever their nominee is going to be, looks like it's going to be Biden at this point. But yeah, just like Oprah was in the past, like they tried to do with Vote or Die and Madonna even before that, right? This is going to be a whole new level of operation because the Swifties represent just a new type of fandom that we've never seen before, and with the power of social media, they are going to be turned on as like an abortion army to come forward in the 2024 election.
Remember how we were talking earlier about how conservatives believe that like every liberal woman's going to have like an army of botchlings, botchling abortions that follow them around and have fake IDs to vote in every election for them? I'm telling you, I'm not joking. The them abortion army is coming to destroy America and everything the conservatives hold dear. It's actually so over for us, guys. What are we gonna do about it? And she asked her fans to vote once. What's wrong with that? So yeah, what they're referring to actually is this Instagram post here from a little while ago. I'm writing this post about the upcoming midterm elections on November 6th, which I'll be voting in the state of Tennessee. In the past, I've been reluctant to publicly voice my political opinions, but due to several events in my life and in the world the past 2 years, I feel very differently about this now. Always had, basically, she goes on about this: gay people cool, racism bad, gender, you shouldn't hate people for their gender and whatnot. Marsha Blackburn doesn't hold Tennessee values and we need to stop her, all this type of stuff, right? And she basically asked people to go vote. Happy voting, right? She ends this with, on October 9th is the last day to register to vote in the state of Tennessee. Go to vote.org and you can find all the info. Happy voting, right? This is what they said is a problem for them. Literally go vote. That's it. That's all she really said at the end of the day, is stating her own opinion and then saying go vote. That's it. And what they really hate is the fact that it kind of worked. It actually worked. Taylor Swift's Instagram post helped drive a surge of voter registrations. On Tuesday morning, the singer posted a short message on Instagram encouraging her 272,000 followers to register to vote. Afterwards, the website she directed the fans to, the nonpartisan nonprofit vote.org, recorded more than 35,000 registrations according to their organization. Right? The 35,000 new registrations of the National Voter Registration Day were the most seen since 2020, the organization said, and a 23% jump since last year, which is incredibly important. And this is what they hate. They hate the idea of other people getting out to vote. Remember how they say voting is so important and voting is so sacred, but once somebody just literally says go vote, they're now scared and terrified, okay? Remember, the reason why conservatives are pushing so many laws to be able to restrict the access to vote for so many people is because voting does work. They wouldn't be trying to stop you from doing it if it didn't work. It does work. That's why they're so angry about losing so many elections, and that's why they hate the idea of people coming out to be able to tell people to vote for elections, because they don't want them to. And the thing is, they're now eating their own shit because people like Tucker Carlson and like everybody on Fox News and so many talking heads from Tim Pool to Charlie Kirk and all of them, piece of shit biac, all of these people have basically been Donald Trump, all of these people have been telling you and telling conservatives for so long that voting doesn't matter and it's all rigged, and Nancy Pelosi will take use the copy machine to take pictures of her pussy and then replace that with votes for Donald Trump, and they're going to throw out all your votes and it's so over and Donald Trump lost and they're going to rig the election more than that's ever been rigged before, and we're never going to have a fair election, and conservatives will never have a fair trial ever again. Just look at Chauvin. You can't even kneel on a fucking, I mean, black guy's neck, a black's neck, without going to jail these days. I mean, what was this country turning to? And now Taylor Swift is getting the Swifties to vote. I mean, what's happening here? It's almost like it's almost like that wasn't the real problem of false votes. It was actually the fact that people who they don't like were voting to begin with. And not even doing illegal votes. They have to call them illegal votes because they want to make them illegal. That's the real thing that they're mad about here. Voting works. That's why they don't like them doing it.
Guarantee it.
Okay, so I have a couple. So let's just kind of show 72. This is a very, I don't understand this. Here's Taylor Swift, who, she was endorsing Joe Biden, but she did it with these like disgusting Walmart cookies, right? Back in 2020, as if.
No, she made them.
And by the way, is this some sort of thing like I should be in the kitchen making cookies for you? Is that what you're trying to tell us, Taylor Swift? Is that like?
Bro actually has been spending way too much time on Instagram watching softcore. He's been spending way too much time on Instagram and TikTok watching softcore trad wife softcore porn. And so now he's like, every single time a woman shows herself doing a normal thing that people do in their house, he's like, yeah, it's just like one of those, but now it's insidious from the left. Yeah, okay, buddy. The thing is, she's actually dressed without like policing women's looks. She's actually dressed more modestly than I've seen a lot of these trad wife girls. Sorry, I had to go close the window. My betta fish tank with Jasper in it is in the windowsill, and obviously it's cold, but it was getting warm in here, so I had to open it really quick. So that I didn't burn to death. Burn. Stop sitting on Hassan Shark. Sorry. I let him up. Yeah, somebody influential exhibits the smallest amount of being based, and these guys start pissing themselves.
Your rightful place is to make cookies or something. It's a very weird
She
thing.
didn't make those.
I think it's
Nobody said that's crazy that he read that into
If you're
this.
gonna put like
They're handed to
complicated frosting designs on cookies, they always end up looking like kind of crappy.
Am I supposed to believe she actually made those?
I don't think so. I think
this whole thing is an odd.
I don't think a lot of people are asking that question.
She definitely ordered them.
She wanted to endorse Joe Biden, so she got Joe Biden cookies. I don't think it matters whether she made them or not.
It's not cute. It's not interesting. I don't find anything she does to be interesting.
But that's the wholesome
She's
thing
an
that you
op.
said.
She's a
Well, okay.
created op of the Mockingbird
What
media.
I would say is we talk about her all the time.
It's
so we
actually
clearly do.
crazy how much of a hater this guy is. He's like, she posts a single picture and he's like, is this some sort of online girlfriend I'm supposed to be making in the kitchen making food for you or something? Is it like as the male Swifties trying to get them to listen to every word that she says? Actually been watching way too much trad wife softcore porn on TikTok. That's the only thing that he can think about when he sees this type of stuff. She's not funny, she's not cute, she's not interesting, she's not pretty, she's an op, she's created by the Mockingbird media to destroy America. Okay. All right, bro. I'm begging you to calm down.
You find her interesting in some
No,
capacity.
it's forced on us. That's not true. I would never talk about her if this wasn't force-fed by the masters of the universe. Time magazine.
And force-fed is
Travis Kelce. Oh, yeah. Just so
Whether
happens.
she was-
Hold on. You cannot watch an NFL game. Travis Kelce for State Farm. Travis Kelce for Pfizer. Travis Kelce for some random car insurance thing. It's like, what company doesn't have Travis Kelce? I mean, I'm trying to watch a dang football game, and it's Travis Kelce for Uber Eats and Travis Kelce.
Wait.
Americans take very seriously. I don't watch the NFL anymore. I love college football. I will not, spend my time watching a league that tolerates this blatant anti-Americanism. And look, how much is it to ask just to have NFL players stand for 2.5 minutes, during the national anthem? And there's
You were doing what, Charlie?
Kelce. I mean, I'm trying to watch a dang football game, and it's Travis Kelce for Uber Eats and Travis Kelce for Subway. And oh, by the way, Travis.
I don't know, maybe you should go back to boycotting and shutting the fuck up. You ever think about that? Boycott failed. He forgot. You think he forgot? You think he just simply forgot?
Kelce for Ma'ato and Travis Kelce for.
So
it's like, I'm telling you, that doesn't happen by mistake. I'm supposed to believe that all these pre-scripted commercials.
It's almost like he's famous.
It's that Taylor Swift is fanatically, insanely popular, so she will be shoved into things. It is not that.
Wait. So you're saying
Taylor Swift?
You're saying that Taylor Swift
everywhere.
So Taylor Swift needs Travis Kelce? No. The whole thing is a fake op. I'm
I don't
convinced.
know
What if all the
whether
commercials got to
relationship is
Taylor
fake
Swift?
or not.
He's so
What
weird.
I'm saying is, I don't think Taylor Swift. They found Taylor Swift in a lab and said, "We're going to make Taylor Swift popular so that she can
no
then
one's
push
saying
Democrats."
that, but it's the same way that Dua Lipa.
They were
girl,
saying that.
and it's the same thing with Jennifer Lawrence, and they find people that they can use for cultural type influence.
Who's they?
And Taylor Swift is perfect. She's a liberal, but she doesn't overplay it in recent years. She's the most popular. No one doubts that she's popular. Of course,
She's normal.
Of course, she's popular, and she's that demo that they want to dominate, which is upper middle class white girl, suburban America. That's their pathway to world domination, and she controls that demo. Of course, we acknowledge she controls it. I mean, we don't live on Neptune, but this whole Travis Kelce thing is so staged, right, Jack? I mean, you watch an NFL football game. I remember Erica walks in. She says, "What commercial is he not in?" I'm telling you, he's on like Experian. He does the vaccine. I kid you not. I saw one NFL game, and it was 3 in a row. Right?
I got the list here.
You got the list.
I got the list.
This guy's
you ready
not
for
that
this?
good.
It's crazy. Anyways, they go on to talk about how it's crazy that a popular man is put into commercials. It actually doesn't make any sense to them, which is really funny. I want to skip forward a little bit here to about 7:31 because there's some more fun stuff here.
Here is Taylor Swift, very upset about. Oh, by the way, Eva Vladendingerbrook is going after Taylor Swift. Good for her.
Vladendingerbrook?
Play cut 87.
Really is a big deal. She votes against fair pay for women. She votes against the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act.
That's true.
Just basically protecting us from domestic abuse and stalking. She thinks that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really
True.
basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point. And I can't see another commercial and see her disguising these policies behind the words Tennessee Christian values. Those aren't Tennessee Christian values. I live in Tennessee. I am Christian. That's not what we stand for.
That's not what we stand for. It's like you could see the cue cards next to the camera as she's reading off of this. That's honestly some of the worst acting I've ever seen. I have no idea, if CAA is going to sign her for anything. You think they send her to like a couple of acting lessons first?
I'm telling you, man, this guy is actually mentally ill. He actually hasn't seen somebody. He lives his life. It's so fake that he actually hasn't seen somebody express human emotion so long. He's just around demons and freaks and creeps who haven't expressed a genuine human emotion in so long that he sees somebody crying and goes, that must be fake. He sees somebody upset and goes, this must be fake. That's wild to me. He's got the face of a sex offender. Hate to say it.
First, before they sign her up for something like this, it's ridiculous. I can understand why Hollywood doesn't want to work with her. She doesn't actually know how to read lines. But we used to have this, I had this theory called Yellowstoning that I talked about, for a while. This idea that, they would take somebody like a Kevin Costner, like a show like Yellowstone, and then use that person and their stature, their weight, their influence with a certain audience to mobilize them towards progressive ideals. So they started slipping like these progressive ideas, woke characters into the show Yellowstone. And of course, using Kevin Costner. Then they also used Harrison Ford for this in one of like the spin-offs there. You're starting to see they did a Sylvester Stallone one. So this is kind of like a similar psyop that's being run. Charlie, to your point, it's on Middle America, and so they're taking
Yellowstone has fallen.
I would say have the aesthetics that would appeal to Middle America, but then shifting them, nudging them into into these liberal beliefs, and that's what you see. Obviously, Taylor is very poorly doing so because she's beating you over a hammer with it in that scene there. But again, this is the exact same type of playbook that they've gone to again and again and again. But because they have social media now, they have the ability to create their own marketing empire through it.
I just can't get over that. It's Times Person of the Year. They've given it to Hitler. They've given it to Stalin. They've given it to Putin. They've given it to every U.S. president that I can think of.
Trump.
All right, chat. Name yourself. Putin, Hitler, Stalin, Donald Trump, Taylor Swift. Choose your fighter.
Trump.
They get into Trump. Yeah, Trump. I mean, it's not morally the best person. It is like the most important person of the year who captures the themes of the year. And you pick Taylor Swift because she's a big celebrity. Okay, like even if her concert is the biggest concert tour ever, even if she's the most successful singer entertainer ever, even if she is forging new frontiers in that, is that the biggest theme of 2023?
So
no,
but
it should
then,
be.
But then they say, well, who would you have chosen? I think Elon. It's not even close.
I think you've got to pick. I think you'd either pick ChatGPT. You know,
Losing
half the time
money.
they do like a
the
object entity
protester.
of the
Yeah.
year.
No, I think AI would have been
you could do
interesting.
AI. You either
That
do
would have been
ChatGPT
interesting, yeah.
or Sam Altman if you need a person, but you pick AI.
No, AI would have been legit, like, because that actually AI is changing our world. But,
Yeah.
So, by the way, Elon,
Yeah, man.
hello, look at what I mean.
I think Elon would have gotten it if he hadn't.
Elon, hello, look at how much he's losing money. Look, nobody has ever lost more money than, no individual has ever lost more money than Elon Musk has. He should have made it. He should have made it.
Gotten it 2 years.
Elon did fund.
So what? No, you can get it more than once.
Yeah, you
He's
can.
even
but
bigger
you
now than he was
but
2
they
years
don't-
ago.
They haven't. I don't think they've done a rerun other
Taylor
than the
Swift had it in
president getting
17.
reelected in ages.
No, Taylor Swift in 2017 they gave it to like all the women of Me Too, and Taylor Swift was one of them. So
She's
she
a
was
Men
like
Woman?
the
in
co-woman of the year.
and in 2006 they gave it to everyone. So I guess she had it 3 times then.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow,
they said
wow.
you were the person of the year because YouTube took off in 2006.
Yeah, no, AI would have been interesting. That would have been actually legit.
If not AI, I think you could also say like Jack Smith or
Oh, no,
the
that-
prosecutor.
no.
No, well, but no, think about it. Like the big theme of this election is this is the year where they're
It hasn't
using
materialized.
every
It's not there.
extrajudicial.
That's-
You could deserve it next year if
No,
they
I'm saying
successfully.
you're throwing it too far ahead. Yeah, it has to be a little bit of what the year was defined as. But Elon.
I've never seen anybody analyze this hard. It's crazy. Anyways, I want to skip forward a little bit more. 3230.
Relationship, and yet there's no actual time that she invests into it. She just invests all her time into her career and essentially herself. And so the empty egg card, this is like years ago. This is like 5 or 6 years ago that this was going on. So even then, everyone was like, look.
My only fear is that by the time they realize they actually want to have kids, have literally positioned themselves for, I think the problem is they position themselves for over a decade that they're just not going to have kids no matter what. And so now, like, the natural progression is that people are getting married now later on, and that's fine. Like, again, I'm not being judgy on like who has kids, who doesn't, when they get married, who, whatever. Like, I think earlier the better, great, whatever. But they're getting married later on in life, and so now this is like the half step before they
Child
have
marriage
kids.
for them be like,
And
hell
my
yeah.
only fear is that by the time they realize they actually want to have kids, it'll be too late because they just like drug out their life for way too long.
Yeah, so
And
this,
again,
so this ties into the Taylor Swift thing because this has been a knock on
And they
Taylor
bring it
Swift
back to
for
Taylor.
years at this point.
Just so you know, after that, I skipped forward because they stopped talking about Taylor Swift, and then they start talking about Taylor Swift again randomly. He's just like, this is just like Taylor Swift, bro.
There used to be this whole meme, this could all kind of be like a sort of deep web reveal. Blake, do you remember this one, the empty egg carton meme?
Far too well. Last egg circling the drain.
Exactly. So this was the idea that, and there was a certain YouTuber, former YouTuber, I guess, who got in trouble for, it was Stefan Molyneux, and who posted, who just basically went on a tirade on Twitter and was like, look, Taylor Swift is in her prime years for child rearing, and she's spending all of this time going around, focused on her career, talks about wanting a family, talks about wanting a relationship. Every single song is about having a relationship, and yet there's no actual time that she invests into it. She just invests all her time into her career and essentially herself. And so the empty egg card, this is like years ago. This is like 5 or 6 years ago.
Why doesn't Taylor Swift work on pumping out babies? Can you imagine how many more white babies we could be able to indoctrinate into our bullshit if she was pumping out kids instead of pumping out shitty music?
yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Stefan Molyneux is also the guy who went. Didn't he go to Poland? Didn't he go to Poland and then he was like, oh my God, not a single darkie. Nobody called me racist. Women know their place. Oh my God. And then he actually started tearing up and crying live on air because he didn't see any black people, and he was like, oh, it was like he saw the promised land. Actually, he was oh, he was the Eastern Poland or something. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It was so good. Wait, nothing I do is performative.
Nothing I do is performative.
Let me see. Man, it's crazy how this guy hasn't showed his ugly mug around here for like 5 years. This is an old Kyle Klingsky video, but
So Stefan Molyneux.
so true.
About a year ago, and I decided I wanted to come.
I want to come.
Cultural pride, national pride has been scrubbed out of the language of the West, and I wanted to come and see what it was like to see a group of people incredibly proud of their country, incredibly proud of their history, and I think rightly so, celebrating their country. I also wanted to put my individualism, something has just kind of broken in two within me.
This meme
That
is very real.
Aristotle said 2,500.
Anyways, he goes on a little rant.
And the last few days here in Poland have just kind of shattered something within me, in that this sense of collective unity, this sense of collective pride, this sense of having a tribe, this sense of having a culture you can be proud of, has arisen within me. And I've never been to Poland before. My first name is Polish. I know there's family history, but
My people.
these goddamn cultural Marxists, by the people who oppose the West, by the people who oppose any kind of pride in Western history.
Yeah, this is, just so you know, to date this is back when conservatives were on, like, because you know how they like to cycle through different language and different like terms. When they get old, they think they get a different term for cultural Bolshevism, was what the term that they actually want to use. This is back when they were on cultural Marxism.
This sense of unity, this sense of purpose, this quiet resolution and willingness to defend what your ancestors fought to give you, I have not experienced it in many, many decades, and I've never, ever experienced it as an adult. Go out into the public square and say you're proud of the West, and you're proud of the freedoms that were fought for, and you're proud of the sacrifices of your ancestor, and you're immediately a fascist and a Nazi. But here, this quiet unity, this quiet pride, this calm resolution, this celebration without giddiness.
Bro's literally a Nazi, most likely. No, he is. I don't know. I guess we could. You guys want to do like a deep dive on Molyneux someday? He's completely gone now. He was a bro's insane, but yeah, bro's insane, but yeah. He used to pop off back in the day. He was there when like Jared Taylor and like Richard Spencer and all those guys were still on Twitter and YouTube. We're still making when like KKK clan leaders were having YouTube channels and stuff. That's where this guy was. An unwellness check. Didn't Vosh debate him yet? Once. Destiny and Vosh both debated him once. Yeah.
Because I've never felt it more strongly than I do today. Together we stand, divided we fall.
Oh,
so true, bro. So true, bro. Bro saw Polish racism and was like, my people. my people. Oh man. Oh, he thought he was popping off then. Crazy. That was actually when Kyle was a part of the Young Turks. That was actually a Young Turk video. Molyneux thought that the creation of wealth was literally magic. Yeah, that was really funny. He's such a character. He's such a curious guy.
Ago that this was going on. So even then, even then, I guess she would have been her like kind of mid 20s. What's she like? She's like, how old is she, guys? She's like 31.
33, I think, maybe 34. She was born in 89.
Oh, she's 1989. Right.
Yeah, she turned 34 this year. Yeah.
So she'll be 34. Wow.
She is 34. I think,
okay.
I think she's maybe already 34.
No, she's 34 next week. Look at that. Next week.
Happy birthday.
Well, like to that point though, like I think the horrifying thing is, and again, that's the important piece that you just hit on, which is that it's not whether or not you are married. It's not whether or not you have kids. It's about the desire and putting yourself in the right place to do those things. Because I think that the world that we live in today with social media and everything else is like, it's actually more challenging, I think, arguably than it ever has been to have a normal relationship. It's more challenging than it's ever been to have, there's no privacy to like raise your kids the same way. There just is. You can make the argument. You could go live in a hole somewhere, but like if you're not on normal social media and things like that, you're a weirdo.
This is so they had this just on standby. They had this meme on standby, bro. This is the type of memes that they just pull up normally. He just looked through his phone and was like, "Oh yeah, I got something for that." These are the type of memes I got. And these guys are the ones telling me that they're winning the meme war. This is meme war victory contender. Can you even imagine that? What does that even mean? It's silly woman. A silly woman thinks that they can live their life without being impregnated by me. Just wait until you're too late. Then you'll realize my cum was all you needed to be happy. They want rights to talk more. Silence, silly woman. Where is that clip of Trump going silence, silly woman? Oh my, it was shut up. My bad. It was shut up, silly woman. Yeah, here we go.
Shut up, silly woman.
That's just how they run their life, honestly, at this point. Anyways, moving on.
In the eyes of like regular suburban America. So like you have to be in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form more than what you are normally, what the normal human being in the 80s or 90s was comfortable with. And so now you have this issue of, I think that this is that people are skittish. It's like stage fright. They're stage fright to that. And I don't blame men for having stage fright to that. Most of my friends, like I talk to, and I'm not even like, it's like Jack or Charlie here, but like you and I have similar things where people kind of become aware of you through different things. People are like, I want nothing to do with that because I wouldn't be down with the introspection into my life from like the general public. I wouldn't like that. And I think there's a...
What do you mean introspection on your life from the general public? What, do you talk about all your like privacy shit in the real world? Do you dump all your relationship shit on people? Because then they'll have an opinion on it. You could just not film every second of your life and you'll probably be fine. But yeah, that's what's going on World War Swift. They're losing. One more thing I want to play it for you before we like wrap it up. It's actually Prosbiak on his own stream because Kirk and Friends did like 3 more streams about Swift after this. Prosbiak did like 2 or more streams about Swift after this. They weren't done. Okay, yeah, more like Prosbiak, right? They're still not done. But moving on with this.
Unfortunately, it is time consuming to go to the range. Shooting is a perishable skill, and even if there's one nearby, a range nearby, ammo price.
We'll skip this.
Caliber specific.
It's an ad.
Way to train, which is why competitive culture, the Barbie movie, and then also, honestly, Taylor Swift and the Taylor Swift fandom. And actually, before we do that, I'd love to go and play. Guys, do we have SOT 2 here? Because this was an ad that we played very recently that I think sums all this up. Right before we bring our guest on, I want to play this. SOT 2, the Taylor Swift political ad.
Breaking news. Women all over Virginia are standing up for freedom, voting to stop Glenn Youngkin and the Virginia legislature from banning abortion. Look what you made us do.
They're so pink.
Look what you made us do. Look what you made us do. The only thing stopping them from banning abortion is you. Vote Democrat. Your legislative leaders matter. This election, keep yourself empowered.
This is so woman coded. It's so womanful. Code pink. That's true. That's true, everyone. Be careful. Code pink. It's going crazy. Based. It's great. I hate this aesthetic, but go off, Queens. Listen, this is for the women who love nothing more in their lives, but like outside of being women. They're like, I'm a fucking woman, bro. I'm pinking shit. I don't think it's for a lot of you. A lot of you, it's just not for you. But you're not the demographic that they're targeting here. All right, this is targeting the capital W woman pink. Like I love my uterus. I love my I love my uterus. I love my XX chromosomes type. I love pink. Wearing frilly skirt is in my jeans type shit. Bring your Gia for this. Let's hear her input. For what? Targeting the centrist. This is for like the suburban. So this is for like the suburban moms. The like the like, you know, spinning dress pink college girl, that type stuff. You know, those type of girls that they want to activate. I don't think it's for you all, honestly. A lot of you all, the trans girls, you mean? Possibly. Some of them love this stuff.
Evita Duffy from The Federalist joins us now. Evita, they've just named Taylor Swift the, that's basically her song that was used
the
for
God
that
of
ad,
White
which is a
Women.
mix of Taylor Swift.
Oh no!
Just named Taylor Swift Times Person of the Year. I was out about a month ago. You had a great show where you talked about the Taylor Swift army coming online for the 2024 election. Is this what we're seeing now? Are they activating the Taylor Swift psyop?
Yeah, it's not just happening now. This has been happening for pretty much a year. They've been pushing Taylor Swift on us. The corporate media has these articles fawning over her. She's like the greatest thing that's ever happened to humanity. Meanwhile, her music's pretty mid. If you it's actually somebody actually did a breakdown of her music and the melodies, she has like the same melody progressions over 20 times, like over 20 different songs. She's always complaining about the same breakups over and over again in these songs. Jake Gyllenhaal is somebody who she wrote the song All Too Well About, which is like a 10-minute song where she complains about a man that she dated for, no joke, 3 months. This is not a musical mastermind, and yet the media is pushing her on us constantly. And if you say anything negative about Taylor, the media, the Swifties, and Taylor Swift herself will call you a misogynist. And here's why I think that is. Taylor.
Can you imagine being so triggered by one person telling people to go vote that you spend an entire segment talking about how actually their music really isn't that good, and they're actually like a total loser, and they like date like way too much, and like, bro, she's actually like super mid and she doesn't deserve all of those views, and okay, you get laid too often. All right, buddy, calm down, dweeb, fucking nerd. Ain't nobody asked for your opinion. She's a four. She's a four. It's crazy. Like, calm down, bro. Be normal. Ever think about that? You don't have to make men these days can't even say that they like a girl. They have to spend a 57-minute long stream talking about why they think she's mid. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this voter thing's been something that they've been harping on. Like, they hate it a lot. They hate it a whole lot. I mean, like, oop, I can't find this. Oh no, I don't have it. No. Charlie Kirk even said that Taylor Swift is going to destroy America by getting people to vote. If that destroys America, then I don't think that what's getting destroyed here is anything worth keeping, because it's not America. It's probably your ideas of stopping people from being able to vote. It's more likely. But yeah, that's what we got going on right there. That's World War Swift. It's actually incredibly sad and very stupid, and completely ridiculous. I mean, like, wait, one last clip, because there's so many clips. I can't even play all of them for you.
Maybe they switched her out like they switched out Avril Lavigne.
This is what we're talking about. I mean, I think she's very alien-esque. I mean, just look at how she functions.
They switched her out.
You think?
Yeah. Okay, buddy. You can just say that you don't like her. You don't have to call her an alien. You can just say that you think she's cute and you wish that she would be yours before all her eggs run out. You know, you don't have to be weird about it. You really don't have to be weird about it. But and unfortunately, they don't know how to talk to human beings anymore. They decide to be weird. How sad. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.